Hey everybody, Radon here to pick up from a cliffhanger. So a reminder of last episode, Quell died and we resurrected her with the only res serum that we had. And we got pretty shredded up because mechanoids decided to land on us. Huzzah! That was pretty bad. That was really bad. This episode, I might be burying Santiago, depending if there's an ambush here or not. I guess we'll see. So, without a further ado, because I've made you all wait, I am grabbing the items that were up here, and I'm getting home. Cool. Does not look like there was an ambush. So, let's go home. I was going to stop in on the prisoner camp, but it occurred to me that they have turrets and solar power panels and stuff like that. The trouble is, it is too hot for camels to survive outside. They are good up to 140 degrees. And currently it is 190 degrees because we're mid-heat wave. Even if it wasn't a heat wave, it'd be about 180, 170. So it is not a good time to send my... well, it's not a good time to send anyone northbound. So I'm not going to. We will allow animal products, actually. I take that back. All right, let's go do some butchering. We have a medical emergency. Yeah, you're fine. Immunity, 99%. Yep, he's actually literally running around. Don't be so alarmist. Omni here has a inspired surgery, so even though he is really not fit to do the surgery, I'm inspired. I'm not worried. Oh, Jenny. Omni, I want to do the operation. She's inspired. Omni, I know you just immediately fell asleep. That's funny. Haha. I really wish there was like a only allow X person to do it. Sorry, Jenny. I'm going to keep you recruited, standing around. Animal disease, plague, fudge. Nice. Nothing like animals spreading the plague, right? Alright, so the surgery went fine because, you know, he was inspired. No issues there. Jenny's going to disturb some sleep to get the base more repaired. Heat wave is over. Okay, so 168. It's still too hot for camels. We'll check out that base there once it is not too hot for camels. Another thing I was thinking of doing is to, firstly, to allow any radius cutting. I'd be fine with. Alright, Milla, if we look at you, you're no longer permanently disfigured or anything. That's good. That's real good. Fudge here, you are Plague Minor. Now, maybe I give you... I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I give you meds. I'm not sure yet. Another thing I wanted to do, and let's start working on that, is to airlock my kitchen. So I gave this some thought, and I know how I want to set it up. So let's work towards that. Philly, you got sucked into this just because you were standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. Guess what, O'Connell? That's your turn. Guess you need planting practice. Alright, that's a good start. Now all I need to do is wall this off like this, slap in a steel door, and we've got ourselves a beautiful little airlock. No problem at all. And this will help keep the freezer cool. Now, if I ever really want to add another airlock on the other side, it's just easier to move the door that accesses this farm to something like up here. So I'd not really airlock the left side. I would just seek some sort of reasonable alternative instead. So airlock complete. That will keep that a little bit cooler. You are working on better clothing. During that Scyther attack, our clothing got kind of messed up. And by kind of, I mean extraordinarily. Caravan arrived. We have the beautiful assault rifle. Very excited about that. That will help a lot. That is a legendary assault rifle, so it's about as good as one can get. One of our meleeers is not wearing a shield. Or not, yeah, not wearing a shield. It's probably Quell? It was Quell. Welcome back to the living, Quell. Earth, when you get up, get that legendary rifle there. And Milla needs the other mace. Make sure to equip those before it's critical. And I got a plasteel club that I can smelt down. Now, if I'm smelting a weapon, Earth, I'm just going to wake you up so this doesn't become collateral smelting. So Earth has a legendary rifle. Now, the beauty of a legendary rifle is it is unbelievably accurate even at very long distances. So that's pretty cool. That will help a lot for some of these raids. How is your health? You are fine on just care. Just some lovely doctor care is enough. How is the kill box coming together? It is coming, I guess. We do need to have some dead powers set up. The tea that we have has dwindled because we've mostly been focusing on meals, so looks like we're finally back to doing tea, which is good. Alright, high meat is important. Preferred, okay, so they should be hauling the meat. They're just not. Alright, where's Quell? You are Quell. You don't need to grow or plant cut anymore. We've got people to do that for you now. And actually, Philly set you up to mine as well. It looks like we've already slagged that club. Let's go ahead and suspend the order. Mudge, why are you dumping rice into your bedroom? I'd love to know. Alright, another thing I want to do is cut the mountain through and through here. That way we have easier access. And the reason for it is this is all thin roof. So in fact, if I wanted to, and I might as well, I could just remove the roof on... What is this? Remove, yeah, remove the roof on any and all of it if I wanted to. That'd be fine to do. It's kind of a lot of work, but, you know, we don't really need a roof there, and it allows us to move around that area a little bit more easily. That also means that I can start walling up the overhead mountain and working towards greater security. That wouldn't be too bad. This allows us to travel very, very quickly over here. Kind of adds this whole space to our base, which is cool. And then we'll wall the rest of the cave system off from our farming area. Speaking of mining, we do have this steel up here that I've long neglected, so let's go ahead and utilize it. Cutting some chunks. Airlock is working wonders, is keeping that nice and cool. Fudge, you are over your plague. It's good. I should probably cut the power to the backup batteries. I never ever remember to do that. Oh, glad that didn't land on me. There was some collapsed rock. So let's build the roof here and replace this with a pillar of our choosing. Actually, I'll keep this. It protects it a little bit better. Alright, so pillar of our choosing. We'll put some sandstone in there. As you can see, this area is a lot more light and airy than it was before. It's no longer even part of the cave. And one of the advantages of doing that is if we have a big infestation, this is area that doesn't need to heat up with the cave. In fact, it protects our farm from being superheated from infestation events. So that has its own advantages. Back here, I am setting up the kill box a little bit more. Produce some free chem fuel. Love it. I think I can probably go ahead and suspend the survival meals. We don't need to constantly be subsisting on that. In fact, fix these priorities here. Looking at this zone, let's start filling in that spot there. And then additionally in here as well. We'll keep these open for now, but yeah, this is eventually part of the security. Removing the roof here. I didn't use that inspired creativity because she's not skilled enough to really benefit. If you were wondering why I ignored it. It's not that I didn't see it, it's that it wouldn't have helped me any. She's not a good crafter or constructor. We can even open this up more. This stuff doesn't need to be constructed. And additionally, we can power this more directly than we were doing before. Which means we can get rid of the power cables that travel through the cave, which run the risk of setting fire if we ever have to superheat the cave. That doesn't, of course, protect these coolers. I would have to do that in a different way. So one thing that we've long neglected is these charge lances. They require 3 advanced components and 60 plasteel. If we want the plasteel, we need to really prioritize mining this plasteel. I'm going to try to have Milla do it. Or Quell, rather. The problem with Quell is she gets there and immediately turns around. Oh, Omni got an inspired creativity. That is awesome. That's basically a... Ooh. Now here's the thing is, legendary something. Obviously I can make legendary something. I have to pick maybe marine armor? Yeah. That might be the best that I could make. Or maybe a charge lance. A legendary charge lance would be pretty awesome too. Yeah, that would be pretty swell. So I'm going to cancel all this digging out here for now. Because we... No, you're always going to find a place to mine. I want to deep mine. And now we're going to be deep mining. So it looks to me like we have a double source of power now. Let's go ahead and remove this conduit. It's no longer necessary to run it through the cave section. Alright, Quell is doing the plasteel, which is great. This was gold. We're gonna need some more gold soon too. And uranium for that matter, especially when we build this slug turret. Alright, this doesn't have power though. There we go. 60% Devil Strand. It's almost ready to harvest in an emergency if it was to be threatened by something. So we have a double thick wall here. And I'm going to add additional levels of security to a lot of the other entrances we have with this cave. So we have 3 layers here. Not all of them repairable, but 3 layers there. And 3 layers here. And I'm going to layer it up here as well. Soon. So we're slowly getting the plasteel required. That might be plasteel too. I have to explore to see where plasteel is and is not. So there's overhead mountain there. A little bit of it. Okay, so the last door is almost built. One thing I need to do is make sure that we halt, I'm surprised I hadn't done it already, halt the tailoring so that we don't accidentally make something. In fact, actually what I'll do is Omni will be taken off of all inspirative, all things that could burn his inspiration until we have the resources to make something nice. I would hate to waste it. Now this is a pain to get through, but it's going to be way more of a pain if you were a mega spider. Alright, well, we are going to move this drill here. And we have a lot of idle pawns. Now it's starting to get cool enough that camels won't die out in the open in the exposure. So soon it will be a good time for a camel run. How's about these cactuses? Let's go ahead and cut these down. You know what? We can just put the grow zone back. Our kill box is kind of not in the way anymore. And in fact, we could grow more cacti here. It additionally wouldn't really be in the way either. So let's go ahead and put cactus here. And expand the grow zone to include as much as you want. What I am going to do is... Oh, no, that is... Bummer. I'll run the power down like this. I'm trying to have it so that the power can't necessarily burn the cacti easily. But we wanted redundant power, which is kind of the problem. So I can fix that eventually by deep drilling a way to burn power around it. Oh, nice. Another uranium slug is getting constructed. I think I'm just going to add this whole zone as home. I don't mind having extra home zone. Oh, a caravan request. I like caravan requests. Always curious what they say. We own a lot now, right? Alright, what do you want? You want patch leather for a golden club. They're pretty close by. And they're describing to me what a golden club is. That's cute. I don't think I'm going to fulfill that, however, because the only thing we can make patch leather out of is the camel hide, and the camel hide is worth more to me than the golden club is, to be honest. Now, if you're not allied with our faction, there's really no way for you to get behind the kill box easily, which was by design. It's really ugly, but it is functional, believe it or not. So what I'm doing is I'm opening the doors that aren't at risk to be exploited by enemies. Oh. Let's force you to wear that. still haven't put any cacti in, but that's just because of the temperature. And we have a teeny little space for our shooters. We don't have a lot of shooters in this colony. Most of us are meleeers. Oh, when you look at that, we need some more butchery. I don't even know what we've been eating. I shudder to think what we've been consuming in the meantime. Alright, so we have our double drill set up. That gives us plasteel. We are not getting plasteel very quickly, unfortunately. Oh, they've been doing NPM. That's okay. This is not raw food. Could be worse. We could subsist on NPM and not have a problem if we... But, alas, let's make some fine meals. Alright, Quell, when you're mining up there, I think we can afford an little pod, glow pod. That's potentially a big steel yield. And I'm going to wait to issue more mining up there until we have the inspiration used. And I determined that the reason I'm going with a charge lance, legendary marine armor is amazing, but it has a shelf life. Eventually, it gets used up. Whereas a lance won't necessarily get used up. It will always not, it will never decay unless I allow it, I guess is the way to put it. And that's the difference. Alright, so you guys are cranking out the, well, I wouldn't say cranking. Cranking is a strong term. You guys are attempting to make some plasteel. And the plasteel goal here for one charge lance is 60. So I know once I hit 60, I'll have enough to craft up that charge lance. If you look, no place to store it. Oh, well, that could be a thing. What I can do here is next time Earth needs a meal, I will crank out some NPM, because that means that these, yeah, they're really hungry. In fact, whoever eats next gets to make some NPM for the camels. They are hungry. About launching the ship. Well, that's nice. I already know. An eclipse, cool. I'm not reliant on solar. Alright, looks like you're eating there. I'm sorry to interrupt your meal, Milla, but you are going to make some nutrient paste meals because our camels are hungry. And the lovely thing about this is we ran out of, we ran out of storage. So this is a really good way to just, I think that's probably enough. A really good way to free up some storage space. So Milla, you're back on lavish to travel. But before you do that, haul some of these meals for me. And now the cows are eating again. It's, I guess they can eat diagonally, so we'll shrink the zone a little bit. Although it's not that much of a problem, given that we have an airlock now. They can't really let a lot of the cold air out of the freezer anyway. So we've hit our mark for the lances. Omni here is going to get assigned to smithing. And we are going to take some wake up and eat. I'm going to consume some NPM because why not? and making that big old lance that we wanted. And I'll try to get the lance done before the end of this episode. Hopefully I can manage that. Oh, let's make the lance before everything else. High on wake up. Should work. I'm curious if I could make... So what is this? This is unfinished advanced component. I don't think that really exists as an item. Maybe it does. Unfinished? Yeah. Anything unfinished can get... Oh, we are low on power for once. Well, backup power. Let's flick that on. And, let me see if I haven't cut anything in a bad way. The generator is connected. All of them are, in fact. We are just using a lot of power, I suppose. So I can turn things off and conserve for the first time ever, pretty much. Be a little cognizant of my use. Alright, let's take a look at the grid. We are... Oh, don't beat up the one craft in the stuff. Damn it. Jenny. Restrict. Let's not allow their good meds. What's funny is these are actually the two that had the plague together. Or had an infection, rather, together. So... Sorry, Santi. Gonna kick you off. Why am I making this? No, I'm working on the charge lance. I'm gonna willfully... Never mind. I was gonna willfully go over time, but I'm gonna have it end with a cliffhanger of sorts, because I am over the time, and I wanted to get this charge lance, but clearly that's not gonna happen this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be dealing with this little infestation, or hive, mechanoid hive, next episode. If you have any feedback for me, drop me a line. Keep in mind that this is pre-recorded, so I'm not going to be able to address your comments in video immediately, but I'll eventually get to it. You know me, I always do. I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you tune in next time, and I'm hoping that you're all having a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Adios, everybody.